We often find that we're reacting to threats in the environment, and that's the way the nervous system is supposed to work. We are supposed to notice danger in our environment and then take care of ourselves, protect ourselves somehow. And when we're in a situation like what we are right now in the modern world, where we see danger from all kinds of places, and we see it repeatedly on the TV and on the internet and on our computers, we have a lot of these images that kind of flood into our system. And, millions of years of evolution can't change quickly enough to account for the fact that, in fact, we're not in immediate danger, that there are things that are happening in the world that we're concerned about and that we're affected by, and that we're certainly terrified and scared of. And the images that are flooding through our system that feel like such an immediate threat aren't actually an immediate threat personally in our bodies. It's helpful to find a way to let our brain and our nervous system know that. And one of the ways that we do that is that we notice it. We notice what's happening. And then we have all kinds of ways that we can work with the arousal, the defensiveness, the protectiveness that comes up when we feel like we're under threat. So this practice, let's take some time to notice that. To notice that right now, look around your immediate environment. Most people that'll be watching this are in a safe environment right now. And as you're listening to the words, just notice that. Notice if there's no immediate physical threat, that you could allow that system to take a break for a few minutes. So as we go through 15 or 20 minutes of a practice, we don't need to physically guard our bodies and our physical health, our physical safety. And then as you're tuning in, notice what's happening in the interior space. So if the exterior space is safe, that may or may not mean that we feel safe. Our interior environment could be quite different from that. And that is understandable when we're seeing images of violence or hatred, when we're thinking about how does that relate to me, what's happening in my own community, what's my part in that. We have a lot of actions that we're thinking about, and we're seeing other people's actions, where there's a lot going on in the mind when there's any kind of turmoil in the world, especially if it feels close to home, like it's something that maybe we need to engage with in some way. And it's always okay to take a few minutes and notice what's happening inside. Notice your own personal experience. We've already checked in and noticed that our external environment is safe. We're not in immediate danger of being hurt. There's no immediate danger of violence in our environment around us. So that gives us the space then to tune into the interior. It's not dangerous to take our attention inside. Notice the energy, notice the breath, notice what parts of your body are feeling tight, what parts of your body are feeling relaxed. Let's start with a minute or two of box breathing. It's a simple reset for the nervous system. As we exhale, I'll count us through it. Exhale, counting to 4. So exhale, 2, 3, 4, and then hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale and let your breath come back to a regular rhythm. Notice as you exhale that there's a natural softening and relaxation through the body and the breath. Keep your attention focused on the transition points in the breath so that we can allow the breath to become more smooth. Just as you're finished your exhalation, let yourself go right into the inhalation. As soon as you have enough breath, let that go into the exhalation. The key to working with the breath is effortless. We're not using the muscles to create a longer breath. We're not breathing more deeply than we feel comfortable with. Fear in the body often creates a shallow breath. Many, many times we'll hold our breath. We breathe in and then we don't let it go right away. We stop. That's part of the fight, flight, freeze system. And as we're noticing that we're not in any danger right now, we could allow the breath to deepen, and allowing the breath to be even and smooth and quieter also signals our nervous system that we feel safe. Notice in your body right now if there's anything that you need to concern yourself with. Oftentimes where our attention is brought to some kind of contraction in our body. So another way that we can signal ourselves that we feel safe is to relax our body. And we can't really relax. We really just need to bring our attention to the area. And as soon as we do, our system wants to relax. Notice your forehead and eyebrows. We'll come in a moment to the thoughts in the mind. But right now you could even just notice what's happening in your thought stream. If there's a kind of a drivenness to it or if it's a little bit calmer. It's very helpful for our mind, for the thoughts, when we focus on something with more of our complete attention. So if we're focusing on the forehead and eyebrows, keep a bit of attention on your breath, on that smoothness of the breath, and less attention on the thoughts that are in the mind. Let your thoughts be really focused on the feeling in your forehead, what's happening in your eyebrows, the eyes, the corners of your eyes. As you breathe out, allow the forehead to soften. We often hold concern in the eyebrows and the forehead. Allowing the muscles to smooth out helps us to recognize and acknowledge that we don't need to worry just for this next little while. Smooth, even breaths and softness through the forehead, the eyebrows, the eyes. And then bring your attention to the mouth and the throat, the jaw and the hinges of your jaw. We don't need to speak right now, so the whole mechanism of speech could relax. And check to see if you have enough room between your upper and lower jaw so that you're not clenching your teeth or that you're not holding some kind of tension in the mouth. Relaxing the muscles and the hinges of the jaw, the tongue, can also signal to ourselves, to our system, that it's okay to stop talking. It's okay to rest, to let thoughts settle as well. And as you're noticing your breath, also notice your face, your forehead, the jaw, the mouth, down into the vocal cords and the throat. Notice the large muscles that cover the chest. Notice the stomach. Notice your breath and how your body moves with your breath. And then bring your attention to the back of your body, to the back of your neck, to the large muscles of the upper back and the shoulders. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. If you're lying down, let them roll back so that you're more fully supported by the floor. We often protect ourselves by hunching and contracting at the back of our neck and shoulders, the upper back. Notice if that's necessary right now. If it is, then we should protect ourselves. And if it's not, then we could let that settle and relax. When we tune into the environment right now, we can often see really clearly that there's no immediate danger. And yet there's this momentum of the mind, the momentum of our nervous system. By tuning in and seeing for ourselves what's true right now, we're able to work with allowing that system to soften and relax. And as we relax our body and our breath, our nervous system understands that it's okay to relax. There's no threat right now. And as our nervous system feels safe, then everything relaxes more deeply. Anchor some of your attention to the movement of your body with your breath. If you find that you're holding your breath or if there's tightness in the breath, work directly with that for a while. Pay attention. Soften the muscles of the stomach. Keep your focus on the transition in the breath as you go from out breath to in breath and in breath to out breath. And notice the energy in your body right now. Is there any kind of energy in your body that's signaling you that you're not safe right now? That you're ready to jump into action? Notice your whole body, your arms and your legs. If we relax our arms and legs, that also signals to our body that we're not going to need to jump into action. Pay attention to the sides of your neck, your shoulders, your arms and hands. And all the way down into your legs and feet, your toes, the soles of your feet. Let your body rest. If there's some kind of energy that feels like it could use some attention, pay attention to that for a bit. Notice that energy has a location. It has an ending point. So if you're feeling a sensation of fear is often felt in the stomach area, in the gut. Or there might be a kind of a heart-sick feeling in your chest, a pain somewhere in your body. So notice what's happening and then bring your attention directly to that energy or sensation, to that feeling. Notice the space all around the edges of it, even if it comes to the edge of your body and maybe even a bit outside of your body into the immediate surrounding. It doesn't go on forever. The lamp on the other side of the room doesn't feel that energy. Notice the location and the space all around it. If you have an image of it, be aware of that. Sometimes an energy has a shape, a color. We have an image that goes with that. And we could work with images of energy just like we work with other images. Notice them. Notice that it's colors and shapes. Our mind has a certain reaction to it, a certain meaning gets made. Tune into the energy and see if it's something that you could learn from. Is there some reason why it's here? Does it need something like reassurance, or does it need to be listened to? Just notice the energy for a few minutes. And if it doesn't feel okay to pay direct attention to it, pay indirect attention to it. Notice all around. Notice your breath. If it's a general kind of fear or anxiety, just remind yourself that you're actually safe right now. We're not trying to make it go away. We're just looking to see if it's something that could use our attention, could be reminded of our safety. And notice that often words or images will come to mind when we're paying attention to energy. Let's turn our attention to the thought stream right now. And as if you were putting a collage of images onto a big poster board, let yourself just sit back and notice what comes into your thoughts, especially if it's something concerning safety. What is your system alarmed about right now? Notice if any images in particular are sticking out as really important to look at. If they are, focus in on that. Otherwise, notice the whole collection. There's words, there's pictures. And notice what energy is responding in your body as you're looking at them. And then as you're continuing to look at the images, tap on your forehead just between your eyebrows a little bit above with your middle finger and your index finger. And transfer your attention to the sensation of the tapping. I'm not trying to make the picture go away. We're just focusing more on the sensation of tapping. And then bring your hand down and notice the picture again, or pictures, that collage that we're looking at. Notice if there's any feeling of threat or discomfort as you're looking at the images. Could the images themselves put you in danger? And whatever your experience is with that, what we're doing is looking at images and words, noticing what it is that comes to mind. When we feel unsafe, there's always reasons for that. We have evidence, and a lot of that evidence comes from words and images that we've seen. Could be worry about what might happen next. And doing something like that practice, or putting a frame around an image, or tracing the space around the outside of the image with your eyes, are all ways that we can help our brain and our nervous system to know that those aren't putting ourselves in danger right now. It's good to see them because this is partly what's causing the alarm in our system. And then when we look directly at them in that way, we understand that there's no danger from those images. And we might have to do the tapping or the space more than once, because oftentimes images have quite a charge. And really look to see, is that image of something that I've seen, is that image putting me in danger? And set your intention to come back to that looking when things get kind of intense again with pictures, with words. And then let all of that go. Let's rest for a moment before we finish the practice. Notice what's happening in the interior of your body, the space your body is in. Relax yourself from head to toes. And we do that by just noticing. Bring your attention to your forehead and eyes, to the mouth and jaw, the back of your neck and shoulders, the upper back, to your chest and heart center, the stomach area. Notice if your breath is smooth and even and effortless. And pay attention to what's happened in the last 20 minutes or so. Just noticing the different stages that you've gone through. We started at noticing if there was safety in our environment. And then the rest of the time, we've really just been attending to our breath, muscles in the body, the thoughts that are in the mind, the energy in the body. Notice how you feel, and notice if you feel safe in your body and in your environment right now. Allow yourself to notice that. And then when you're ready, open your eyes.